displacement. I would like to mention just I was arrested and I got my death sentence during this current government in Afghanistan. So I escaped Afghanistan and I'm accidentally alive in Hamilton. So I have a short piece and I'd like to read it for you. When I was escaping my motherland and running away from my death sentence, I had nothing in my mind unless finding a safe place to live. I had just only one concern: how and where can I stay safe? Canada accepted to give me a chance of life with no threats of death. Canada was generous enough to embrace a young Afghan journalist who was almost to die, and God gave him a second chance of life. Ladies and gentlemen, Canadian government issued permanent visa for Mir Mahdavi and his family in 2003. The Canadian visa was issued for Mir Mahdavi, who was seeking for a second chance of life. This guy was a simple guy who needed Canadian mercy and help. He was not a writer anymore, and he was not editor-in-chief of an Afghan newspaper, who has left his Afghan pen over the border and wasn't able to write anymore. This Mir Mahdavi was a very right person for Canadian visa, who was not able to write in English, but his knowledge and experience would help him to be a good pizza driver or a good taxi driver. Canada needs some non-white, non-Christian PhDs or MAs taxi drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so happy to find a safe place and able to run away from a death sentence. I was landed in Hamilton with no English, and it was my first trip to a Western country. I was not executed by Afghan government, and I had my life with me here in Hamilton, and that was a big victory for me. I was not only left my motherland, but also I left my knowledge, my experience, and whatever I had in my whole life in Afghanistan. Fortunate or unfortunately, I was alive, and that made me to work, and I could not find any job related to my professional experience and knowledge. I had no choice rather than pizza delivery. What did I get from a multicultural society in Canada? What did I get from a peaceful and democratic government? Ladies and gentlemen, PEN Canada came to help me through PEN Writers in Exile Network. I got this great opportunity to work at George Brown College as PEN lecturer in residence. I started to study at Sheridan College with more than 30 writers who were from different parts of the world. The Hamilton Spectator gave me a year of opportunity to learn how to write in English and what Canadian journalism means. To write in English, I need to create an English self for myself. I need to create an English or Canadian Mir Mahdavi, who is totally different than Farsi or Afghan Mir Mahdavi. I was able to run away from a death sentence, but I'm not able to create by myself a different self for my own self. I am still a stranger in this multicultural society. A system can help me to find out myself and my abilities again. But there is no system to help strangers here. You might ask, Penn Canada, George Brown College, Sheridan College, and the Hamilton Spectator all are parts of this multicultural society. To help people like you. But, ladies and gentlemen, I can list you a big numbers of doctor, engineer, journalists who were isolated from mainstream culture and has lost their whole knowledge and experience by doing pizza delivery or cleaning restaurant job. They could not get any extra help from any multicultural society association because they were not internationally famous. Some writers and I got some help just because we were a bunch of crazy journalists and internationally famous. But the other side tries to create an English self for myself will cause to lose some part of my own cultural self. In a different words, I am living in a big gap. Nothing was stopped after I left Afghanistan. And there is a real movement live in Afghanistan now. But I am not a part of that movement. I am not also a part of cultural movement in Canada too. I have always this question for me. Who am I and where I am from? Multicultural society for me means nothing, while it doesn't care about my culture. In a real multicultural society, I should be able to see the beauty of my mother language and culture. There is no Hafiz, Rumi, and Sadi in this multi-English cultural society, and that's why I can't see my face in this mirror. This multicultural society should care about me as much as cares about you, but it is not. Globalization means Americanization or Westernization to me. Technology imposes Western culture to different parts of the world. English is the world's first language, and somehow Western culture is the only world culture. Ladies and gentlemen, some of my friends believe Canada has given us permanent visa just because it needs our children. My daughter Katira speaks English very well, and she has no problem to express herself in English. Some of my friends believe we are very useless people, and Canada is just counting to see our deaths. Why we have no place to have a real life, not in our motherland, not in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, my contract with the Spectator is going to finish at the end of March. And I am going back to driving a taxi. I will take someone home safely, even she or he drunk as much as she or he doesn't know where was her home or his home. I will take them safe home just because I am a writer in exile. Thank you so much.